There we go, second fish of the morning. I changed tack on this one a little bit, which again, we'll talk about a little bit later. So we've had 2 fish now, both on different tactics, but both what we used last night for quick bites. I'm going to show you the other side of this one, because it's a bit scaly on that. These are real pretty little fish, these. Look at that, that is a lovely carp, which will be a big one in the future. Right, just because you're short session carping doesn't mean to say you're not going to put freebies out when you're there. Now my spot mix is all based around high attraction. You're not going to put buckets and buckets of it out, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So the basis of this is initially tiger feed pellet. Now this is such a shame it's not smell-o-vision. It smells like almonds, it's beautiful, that stuff. I got right into that lately. Now that's your base of it. That will stodge it up once we get to the fluid. This will give it a bit of cloud. Nice bit of, coinciding ground bait to go with it. And the fluid that comes from the mix, Brad, hemp and corn. PVA friendly this is. And look at that, that is lovely, isn't it? Nice, shiny, fresh. Open it, you can mix this up 5 minutes before you need it. Otherwise, the hemp dries out and it doesn't perform quite well. But there you go. That's been knocked up about 15 minutes ago. Now that is lovely. So here we go, short session. Now also, the match guys use these all the time. There is massive crossover into our carp fishing now with these heavily stocked venues. What we're trying to do with this, the spot mix, is make it as powerful as possible. Again, we're only here short term, so we want as much pungent smell coming off this as possible. 2 I use here, the tiger feed, or like a salami sausage sort of smell this is. It's so powerful. So get these in there, stir it all up, give it a good mix up. Now if you're fishing right in the edge, you can throw a few balls of that in, and if you're not, and our air range spods, the easy load system, but I'll go into that a little bit later. I'll fill that. Now a dozen of them in your area, you're going to get bites and you're going to get fish. Well, the first night I treated as an overnighter and just fished bags and a dozen spods. Yesterday afternoon I spent an hour or 2 with the bucket there and the spod and put out a fair bit of bait, clips them all accurate so you're back on the same spot all the time. And this morning I've had 4, so I will emphasise though, it's not fishing very well. The fish that are coming out are the smaller stamp, but at the end of the day they're carp. So there's one of them, that's the best of the 4. They are the smaller stockfish, but we are here catching carp and that's what matters. So getting it all clipped up and getting it back on the spot has brought me 4 bites in quick succession this morning, and they're still out there eating now. Yeah. And that's going now, so John, deal with this one. There is one on it. Right, this is the second take. I think we're on about, I don't know, I'm sort of losing count now. This is 6 or 7 takes in the last couple of hours. Second take is we've literally just netted that one that you've seen or you're going to see, and this one has plodded off. Now this feels a much smaller fish, but it's a carp. So again, all that baiting up yesterday is paying off big time now. Oh, and it fell off in the edge. Now that was a tiny little fish, so we're not too worried about that. I reckon that was about 2 or 3 pounds, wasn't it? So, but we've got better stamps here. So what we'll do is we'll get some normality back in the peg and deal with the fish we've got in the net. And there you just had a double take. So with the way this weather's going though, by lunchtime, it's bright sunshine, a nice bit of breeze. I think we'll be on zigs by lunchtime, but there you go, look at that lovely little mirror carp. That is why you spend a couple of hours spodding if you know you've got a couple of nights to string together. Not the biggest in the world, but arguably lovely, lovely fish. Now what I'll do now is I'm going to slot him back, because it's carnage down there where the rods are, having had two at once, and reset the swim. So there you go.
The chod rig is probably the most popular and the most effective boilie fishing presentation in modern carp fishing. And AVID CARP have come up with some beautiful little products to help you fish these rigs more effectively. This, of course, is the original chod bead, which can be semi-fixed anywhere on the line. It's a totally safe product. This top bead here will come off and the rig will slide off should you crack off or lose the fish for any reason. At the end here you can see another new product. The AVID CARP chod buffer just covers the swivel on the lead nicely, gives you a little hinge, make sure that lead is nailed to the bottom, and so is all your line. But if you don't want to fish that chod bead fixed, you want your chod rig to move around a little bit, you'd probably be interested in this little gem. This here is a flying chod bead. Now what that does is enables you to fish the rig sliding on the line. So if you want it to rise up 6 feet because the weed's 6 foot deep, or just a couple of feet because you think the silt's quite soft, then you can do that. It will just slide up to it, no problem. Again, it's safe. A little bead goes over the stopper. You just cannot beat it. That is as safe as it gets, and it's totally bespoke. You're not getting different products and putting them together to try and make one yourself. We've done all that for you. We've done the testing, and we've come up with a product that's totally safe and very, very effective. And if you like that, you're going to like this one even more, because on a lot of venues now the water's so clear, you might be on a deep lake, you want all of that line nailed to the bottom, and that's where the weighted flying chod bead comes in. As you can see there, that's finished in the same finish as an AVID CARP lead, nice camouflage, the fish aren't going to know that's there, fits neatly over a little stopper, mega safe again, and what it means is that line will just sink down behind your highlight hook bait, which you should be using. Brilliant little buoyant hook bait for chod rig fishing. It'll sink all the line down, it'll sink your hook bait as well, take everything with it. Your line is nailed to the bottom, ready to catch a whacker. So don't wait, get on them.
Earlier on I mentioned the spods. In the AVID Air range we've got two types but two lengths. We've got these, a solid one, and the one with the holes in for your pellets, hemp and all that, but we've got a shorter version on each one. So let's look at this one first. Solid one, so, fluids, boilies, sloppy spod mix really, some of the holes in it when it's in the air. So that one first. And then we've got far from your standard one as it happens. It is your holes in it like the normal ones. Again for your pellets, hemp, boilies, whatever you choose. Little bit boilies though, little bit of padded stuff in the top, little bit of ground bait. But the most unusual part of these, or the next step on as far as we're concerned, is the load system. No more cluster of strings which you get your fingers tangled up in and you get slop hanging off it all over the place. Look at that. How quick and easy is that? Now I've been using these for about 6 months. And yes, for me it is short fishing and turning it into time. That speeds me up no end. Although, not just the speed, the ease of doing it. So, have a little look at the AVID Air range and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed.